Welcome folks to Rocky's Road Show. Rocky here. Today I thought we'd talk a little bit about hacksaws. Yes, they cut metal. There's one of them. That's my favorite one, by the way. And I have one that's not so expensive. Plastic handle. Broken at the end, as you can tell. And you see a white hacksaw blade in there. I'll get to that in a minute. There's another little handy dandy one that I have here. It's spineless, if you will. And I actually have a broken piece of hacksaw blade I can show you with. It goes into here like so, and it clamps in here, and you tighten it down with a screwdriver, and it's for tight access areas where you're having trouble with the backbone of the saw. This actually works a lot better when you have a long, well, now we're stuck. When you have a long blade, I can take one out of there later and show you exactly what I mean, but it extends out about that far. That way you can get into tight areas, and you can get at places where you normally couldn't with something that has a backbone on it like this one. So getting into the blades, there's a different style of blade here. It's got coarser pitch and teeth. This one looks to be 18 teeth per inch. And with this type of blade here, it's a finer pitch. It's about 24 teeth to the inch for smaller things that you want to be sawing. Whereas the coarser blade here is better for thicker steels or what have you. You can cut plastic, wood, whatever you like. It's really designed for metal. Now I'll give you a little demonstration as to the cutting. You can start off with a piece of thicker sheet metal here. It's almost a 1/16 of an inch thick. If you were to mount it in a vise like so and cut it this way, it really wouldn't work very well. Get a close-up on that if you like. What you'll end up doing if you do it this way, you'll end up breaking teeth out of your blade. You don't want that. So what I'm going to do, open up the old vise, lock it in here like so. I want to cut it there. I've measured, put a line on it. Away we go. Now with this one, if you try to start it flat, it'll just want to wander all over the place. You don't want to cut it this way because it'll just grab teeth like I mentioned earlier. What you really want to do with sheet metal is to cut it on a bit of an angle so you're actually going away and not grabbing anything. It will cut a lot smoother. You get a better tracking of the blade. It will cut straighter. Now to start this thing, you can use your thumb, finger, whatever. Just don't get in the way of the teeth, otherwise you're going to have a little bit of a mess. So anyways, we get started here. Just a few short strokes, not too heavy on the pressure. What you really are looking for is about 1 stroke per second, 60 strokes per minute. You don't want, now what a lot of people will do, you'll see them occasionally with a hacksaw. They'll be going like this trying to start a fire. Well, it just doesn't work. You end up dulling the blade, won't last long. So here we go. Like I say, just on that angle like I was saying there, and you want to adjust the pressure for the job. This is about a medium pressure job for me, and you can see how fast that's going through. And when you get to the end where it's going to drop off, watch yourself because you don't want to be banging your knuckles on the vise. There you go. That's simple. It's going to be hot. Friction. Can do the same thing using the other one to show you how it works. What we'll do is we'll take the blade out of this one here and we'll mount it in the spineless one. There's the forward. What I like to do with these is like to put them in backwards so you're not bending the blade. Explain that in a minute. We'll just lock that in there. Now if we were to mount the blade with the teeth pointing forward, what would happen is when you put pressure on it, it would want to bend. By mounting the teeth this way, on the pull stroke, it will actually make the blade pull straight. Again, you don't want to be pulling into the edge, you want to be pulling down. Same thing, start it with your thumb. You have to remember this is cutting on the pull stroke. Now I won't go all the way through on this one because I can't get the same amount of pressure as I can with the regular hacksaw frame. There you have it. We get into a little bit of aluminum cutting. There's aluminum, same thing. Don't cut it on the edge, unless it's thick enough, of course. You want at least 3 teeth of your blade in contact with the metal at all times. Special application. Get a close-up on this. I had to make slots that were a little bit wider. I had to make a spearhead to make a plumbing cutter. So I had to make it wider. The slot, one hacksaw blade wasn't enough. So I doubled 2 together, mounted them in the hacksaw. And the reason you see tape here is to make sure that they stayed together. Can you get a close-up on this? You can see the slot is quite a bit wider than a regular blade. Here's a piece here. You can see how wide that is in comparison to a single blade. Let's see, I mounted 2 of them together in the hacksaw blade frame, and I cut through that. 2 slots at 90 degrees in order to make wider slots. If you're cutting tubing, this is a piece of aluminum tubing. You might want to put a little bit of oil, wax, or whatever on your blade to keep it from sticking. So that's about it for hacksaws for today. Hope you've enjoyed what I've shown on my video. Have a nice day, folks. Bye for now.